All right. There was the countdown, gentlemen. Here we
I
go.
know. I know.
Let's
Episode
start over.
two of
We're
episode
good.
2 of CP podcast. Also, take two. Might as well get that out of the way here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're back.
Geography is a
We're back
problem
to
for you,
episode
Steve.
2. And that was my fault on the first take. So we have Coach Dan Corsi back, Coach Sean Yost, and we have special guest Coach Trent Intorcia here, who's been coaching with us for a long time now. And
Is on.
there we go. All right, just a little bio on Coach Intorcia. Born in South Florida, took his talents to Starkville, Mississippi, on a baseball scholarship, left-handed pitcher. He was a 4-year letterman, SEC champion, College World Series participant, runner-up. He's in the top 10 all-time in appearances in a career and in a season at Mississippi State. He's on part of the team that was coined the phrase "Thunder and Lightning" with famous Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro, and Mariners alumni, and three years of professional baseball. I mean, the list goes on. So I mean,
You're still top
here
10?
you are. It's still top 10.
Still
kidding
top
me
10.
right now?
Appearances.
Well, here's the other part of that. Nobody stays anymore, so it's probably going to hold. I talked to Coach Polk 2 weeks ago, and he goes, records aren't going to be broken, Trenner. They're not going to be broken anymore because nobody stays. So it's like, it's become the guys get drafted and leave or whatever, or they're not playing enough and they decide to go into the portal, or they're not good enough and they decide to go in the portal. So there's a lot of dynamics to it, but
Well, back then,
yeah,
nobody
still
told
top 10.
nobody
Dano.
dared told their coach that their arm was sore back then either. You didn't hear that very often.
Well, or their back or their hamstring or what? Because you know what? If you did that,
Yeah, that's right.
you might have been done. Next man up, and hey, coach, I feel good today. Yeah, it's good, but this other guy did pretty good, so wait in line or whatever the answer is. So,
right.
You said
That's
2
it.
weeks ago you spoke to
and I always ask guys this question, players this question. I'm like, do you hurt or are you hurt? And I don't think they know the difference.
Right.
And the interesting part about that is, do you know? Like, if you said to me, like I say to me, how do you feel today? I feel good. Oh, standard answer. I don't believe you. But if they say I feel fantastic or I'm incredible or unbelievable,
Right.
then I'll believe them.
Yeah.
But we all played a long time, so you sit there and you go, when did you ever feel great?
Yeah.
Especially as a pitcher. Like, how do you feel? Let's go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's it.
So you said 2 weeks ago you spoke to Coach Polk, and that's because you were at the Diamond Dog Classic, right? A little alumni game where you got to be a celebrity coach along with Will Clark and who else did you have there? It's pretty big names you got there.
So I'll kind of go from the start. I'll make it quick. So I get a text from Will. He goes, hey, sends me the video. We're going to do this deal. And he shows the video of, left field lounge and kind of all Diamond Dog Classic, Thunder versus Lightning, which, by the way, when we played there, we didn't know who Thunder or who Lightning was.
Right.
We kind of figured it out, but I think it was college baseball or whatever came up with this whole thing. And it was sort of a charade. It started as a joke, but it became real. So Will's like, do you want to coach? I've asked Jeff Brantley, and I've asked Bobby Thigpen. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll coach.
Okay.
When? Where? And I got all over it. And so we decided we were going to do it. And they ended up drafting a team, Will and Raphael did. And the deal was you had to have played not before 05 up to 25, so 20-year span. And they drafted just, based on needs and based on who wanted to play, who didn't want to play. And there was current major leaguers and a lot of current minor leaguers involved in the process. So I said, and they went through the draft. They put something out on the video, and there was a clip that came out where Will and Raphael are going, "Yeah, I'll take this guy, take this guy, take this," and Will goes, "I'm going to kill him."
Yeah.
And Will goes, "Who?" He goes, "Trent. He was my roommate. He wants to beat me. I want to beat him." And that kind of became a running joke. And
Oh. So he
Rafi
picked you
tried to
trying to get in
trade
his head.
for me game day, and Will's like, "No bet, we're not doing it." And it became kind of a joke, but this whole thing was unbelievable. And there was over 10,000 fans at the
Oh
game
my.
to watch
It looked
Alumni
packed.
play,
That's
Jeez.
just
and
the network.
it was on ESPN Plus. So I mean, it, and even the announcers were saying, because my mother watched it, she's like,
I
they
watched
were
it.
saying there's never any alumni game that's going to be put on ESPN, let alone
Right. No
this
way.
one.
That's it.
And it was great. I mean, it was fantastic, and you saw the likes of Papelbon come in relief and pitch, and he's been done for a while, and
Right.
Mitch Moreland, who's been done for a while, ended up in a swing off against Hunter Renfroe, who is still a current big leaguer, and
Right.
Jake Mangum led off for us. I mean, it was the whole storyline was fantastic, and the way they put it together and displayed it for the public was unbelievable. I
Yeah.
mean, and I've been back for a lot of alumni functions, but this one probably topped them all.
Yeah.
Just big,
Well, it was cool.
yeah.
My
Who
boys were cool. Like, there's Mr. Trent. There's Mr. Trent on TV. They thought that
Yeah,
was neat
that's
to see
right.
you walk out.
Yeah, speaking of TV, if you ever watched the Thunder and Lightning, it's a great. I mean, if you're a
Documentary.
baseball purist, it's a great show. And I'll tell you a quick story. And Lefty remembers this because that show was on all the time. I'm coming out of the shower with my towel on. I'm walking into the bedroom, and we got the TV right where my dresser's at, pulling out underwear, shorts, t-shirts. I turn TV on, ID robe to get dressed, and soon as I turn it on, your face. I'll never. It wasn't even like a 3 second pause. Like soon as the TV turned on, it was like you were in there staring at me. So very uncomfortable with that one, but it was hilarious. That's a great story. I want to talk to you. Who posted the picture when you went to do this of your delivery, like the still shot of your delivery? Because I don't know what you look like. And I thought that was maybe a bad picture, being a pitching guy. Looking at that, I didn't see a whole lot of things correct in there, but you might have put it all together before delivery. Did you like that picture of you? Do you feel like that's what you look like?
Well, yeah, but put it to you this way. Obviously, I look that way because the picture doesn't lie, right?
Well,
But
I
uh,
hope so sometimes.
so so the first point I'm going to make is I don't teach it that way, right? I didn't have nose over toes or nose
Yeah.
over rubber. I'm leaning back like I'm about to fall down. But I will tell you that I put it all together at the end of the delivery,
I figure such.
and that's what you do, right? It's like,
Right.
okay, if you feel like you're a little bit behind, which I would have been because I'm leaning back on my heels. I said, yeah, I'm a little bit behind in the delivery, but I got to catch back up and get it down in the zone.
Yeah.
I didn't approve of it, but I didn't really have an opportunity to approve of it. So they put
Yeah.
it out there, and they said, this is your media graphic to send, onto social media or whatever for people to either watch the game or go to
Right.
the game. So yeah, um, not approved.
Yeah, I loved it.
Kids don't do it at home, that whole thing. But
If you're mentally tough, you do what you want. You can find a way to throw a strike.
Is
that's
that the
it.
same picture that's on your baseball card for school?
No,
No.
Well,
no, I think I was. It's the straight on picture where you can't have any mechanical
right,
flaws. Right? So,
right.
you really
Couldn't
can't
find
do
that one.
anything wrong if the ball's in the glove and you're staring at the signals or whatever.
That's true.
or the camera going, it's on you right here. So,
All
Well,
right.
what do you got for us? Got some questions for him, Yosti?
Well, you wanted to talk about what it was like playing, under
I,
specific coach. My questions are more related
yeah.
to CP. So you go ahead and ask your question, and then
Yeah, I just, I want to know, because we've known each other for years, but I never asked you this question. Like, what made you tick? Because you had to be ultra competitive based on your physicality, right? And you played in one of the best states in the country, if not the best, top three. And you probably played in the most talented city in the state of Florida, especially at those times. How did this happen? Like, because you got to be special. You have to be different. And I'm always enthralled with, undersized people that play at a high level and just completely find a way. That's why I was joking about mechanics. You got a kid that could have way better mechanics than all three of us, and he can't throw a strike. And you got kids that are just like, oof, that hurts. But but he could throw a strike when he needs to. So, how competitive how competitive? Because we didn't get to see you, right? When you were when we're young, we obviously respect what you did, the hell out of it,
yeah.
but it just had to be different, And then you go in there with amongst grown men at Mississippi State, monsters. I mean, guys, just big leaguers everywhere. I mean, just until and probably till this day, it's probably the best team to never win a national championship, right? Like, I mean, is
Yeah.
it still
So,
considered that? So, what made you tick, and then what made you be able to, go there? And I mean, it just had to be so tough. Like, just tell us, because that's
yeah.
what we're always
Uh,
trying to preach, man. Just God dang it, be tough. Even if you're not good, just be tough and watch what happens.
most
So
appearances, career in a season.
that's
well,
insane.
the first thing I want to say is we are still dubbed the best team to never win a
Right?
championship.
Yeah. I mean, it has to
And
be.
the other thing is we have a bat that says it's the 1985 team, which was based on Thunder and Lightning. They didn't even talk about 83 and 84 when we were, Roger Clemens beats us in 83 to go win the College World Series. And they said we were the best team that they had faced all year long. And then we get walked off on a grand slam in 84 by New Orleans to go to the World Series, which was a fluke.
Well, yeah.
And then you got the 85, then we got the bat that says, it's by Adidas. It said that this is the college team that put college baseball on the map. So all that's pretty cool. So to answer your question, I mean, I could tell you I played against in high school. The list is insane,
Yeah.
and it was Palmero, it was the Canseco brothers, it was Dwight Gooden, it was Rich Monteleone,
One of my favorite.
It was Lance McCullers, Ron Karkovice. All these guys were my senior class in the state of Florida, and every day was a battle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what drove me the most. And to this day, I don't like it. And when people do it, I've got a negative passion for it. When the newspaper said, little lefty shines again, it was all that kind of stuff that made me mad. It made Papa Joe mad, who you
Papa
guys
Joe.
know, my pops. Exactly. Yeah, please, thank you. And he goes, it's about, a bunch of bunk, blah, 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 blah. Blah. And so you sat there and you said, all right, I can compete, but I had an edge to me, and an edge that mainly was competitive spirit, because I still have an issue playing like board games and stuff like that, because I have to win. And I'm not really a sore loser, but I'm a little bit of a sore winner. So I'm just competing until the day ends. And part of it was, yeah, the little lefty or whatever, but part of it was too, hey, man, here it is. I'm better than you. You think you're better than me?
Competition.
Yeah.
Just shut. Just like,
Yeah. That's right.
and it was, if we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. Which I wasn't a fighter, but I mean, the point being is, whatever we're gonna do. Like, remember when you pencil fought in school? Or am
Yeah.
I too old for that? Where
No, no, we did
I'm
that.
gonna win the
You're
old
old. You're
pencil
not too
fight.
old.
Yeah, I'm gonna win the old pencil fight. So that was kind of the big drive. And then I'll tell you something that these young guys need to understand, and I'm not sure they do. I worked out with the older kids. So on Saturday morning, when you're home watching cartoons, I'm 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the ball field working out with guys that are 3 and 4 years older than me, just learning from them and trying to beat them physically
Yeah.
or ability wise. And number one, it gets you better. Number two, it hardens you for sure. Probably more number one, it hardens you than it does get you better. Number two,
Yeah.
and I was never afraid to fail. And that's the thing that if you talk to young guys, like, which we do a lot, and it's like, you can't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Failures, first, our game, failure
Yeah.
is a
You're
huge
gonna
part of
fail
it.
anyways. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the old saying, the hitter, if you bat 300, you fail 7 out of 10 times. That whole thing
Numbers are lower
is,
now.
yeah. And as a pitcher, if you go, man, I might get beat. But what does getting beat mean? If you give up a base hit or whatever, you give up a home run or whatever, are you digging in and trying to compete to win the prize,
Yeah.
not the moment?
Right.
And
That's
Well,
that, to me, it stuck with me forever. It's still with me. It could be pickleball. It could be anything that I can't even do anymore, like hoops.
like blue tees.
I've kind of conceded that a little
That's all right.
bit.
I'm proud of you. It's great. It should.
Yeah.
You know.
you
Well, you
talk
know
about
what I do now, Dano? It's blended teas.
Well,
So
that's
it's
right.
not.
Doesn't feel as
whatever
bad.
more
Doesn't hurt as
comfortable.
much.
So you
It
talk
hurts.
about your tick there is funny because it kind of works into the next question as we're talking about you want to win breaking a pencil. We used to play that game too at elementary school. I was talking to that to my boys the other day. But if we're playing paper football, Coach Corsi and I used to say that all the time at youth practices. We're playing paper football. We want to whoop your tail. Like we
Yeah.
want to win. Like that's
Yeah.
the whole point. Like we want to win. So I wonder if that's kind of like what kept you with CP. I mean, you've been with us almost since the beginning, and it's you had two boys come through the program and kind of reach in about
Mhm.
like what led you to CP, and you're still around. You don't have any kids in the organization. You help with the showcase division. You helped me this summer quite a bit, and we won a lot of ball games together. So
It can't be because we're both Italian either. That can't be the number one reason. I'm sure it
No,
helps. I ain't gonna lie.
nor is it your sexiness, Dano. It's not
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with
There
it
we
either.
go.
But
I'm already
um,
fighting self-esteem. Thanks.
so
you look
so
great.
my attraction was, and I don't remember if Dano remembers this, but I coached against him. Trying to do the math, and I'm not good at math. I was a communication major, but my oldest was 13. It was 13U, and I go, who's this guy wearing baseball pants and just yap, 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 yap. And I'm like, I got to get to know this guy. And I never got to know him until somebody who I was actually doing one-on-ones with, I said, hey, looking for my kid to play somewhere. He goes, you got to call this guy. I said, okay, I'll call him. I call him. I don't get a call back. I call him. I don't get a call back. And I'm like,
Still to this day.
what the hell, man? I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get my kid in your organization. I hear great things about you.
Yeah.
And I've seen you perform or whatever you want to call it, right? As a coach and as an organization. And I think you were in your second or third year with CP, if I recall. And we finally talked, and he goes, "What's your deal?" I'm like, he already knew my deal. And I said, I want my kid to play for you. And he was a rising, ooh, either freshman or
He
sophomore
was
in high school.
he was
Doesn't matter. Was
freshman.
he one or
Yeah.
the other?
Yeah.
And I would love for him to play for you in the summertime. And he goes, "Well, do you have any interest in coaching?" I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it maybe, but not for my kid. And you guys will both attest. I never did it for my kids. I did it for the love of the game and the ability to give back to the game. And it worked out. And quick side note, great story. My first year, we were 3 weeks into the season, and one of our players asked me, he goes, "Do you have a kid on the team?" And I
That's good.
said, "Yeah."
I was always like that. I mean,
And he
you were
said,
so professional
"Which
with
one
that.
is he?" I said,
Yeah.
"That one over there." He goes, "I had no idea." That was the best compliment I've ever gotten as a
Yeah.
coach.
It's the
But
ultimate coach as a dad coaching your own kid. If you're too
but
hard on them, you're a dad, that's your boy. And if you're not hard enough, that's your boy. You can't, you just treated everybody the same with a bunch of love. And you did a wonderful job with that. And I'll never forget that.
wasn't
Yeah.
he playing shortstop at that time too, batting leadoff?
No. No. Pretty
Giuseppe.
sure he batted eighth.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Joey. I
Late,
was thinking
yeah.
B man.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he got the
Joey.
third. He got
That
the
was
third.
Giuseppe.
He got the third start. Every tournament or whatever. But it was great, and I'm like, listen, I don't. I'm going to tell you one thing about Dano. Well, you too, Yossi, because you guys got into it with my my younger one more so than my older one.
Yeah.
But you treated them like you would treat anybody else, and I had no issue with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. You're the coach. I'm the coach. Whatever you guys say, I'm going to say. We're not going to disagree on things. And after what 15 years of doing this, I don't think we've ever really truly disagreed on anything.
No, it's been
Why
And
it
great.
works. That's why it works.
I
Yeah.
think the organization benefits from that because you see the cohesiveness of the glue or whatever you want to call the glue and the younger meaning the glue the three of us
Yeah.
put together, but and throw Tony Voro in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Malika.
Tony Malika. Yeah.
Malika. So I
Yeah.
mean, you could go back
OGs.
forever. And when the kids get older, for these families to see, the younger, or the younger coming up or whatever. When you get to that point where you go, okay, it's starting to matter a little bit. We're starting to separate from, once you get to the big field, all bets are off and all things change and all that stuff that we talk about. But your preparation leading up to it, your work ethic and all that stuff, and that's what CP does for people. And it's not just about, hey, can we put a winning team together at 12U and go hit 26 home runs on a weekend?
All right.
That's not what it's all about. Is can we teach kids fundamental baseball and then prepare them for the big field, whether they have the size or not? They have the intangibles where the size will help them catch up
Yeah.
with the speed of the game or the distance of the game or whatever the case may be. And I think that's what this organization does better than anything.
Yeah.
And I saw that early, and it was an attraction. And then, I mean, Dano and I hit it off from the get go, and Yosti, he's the first one I met, so I'm just telling you that we hit
Oh,
it
I
off,
understand.
and it's
I
not
understand.
being left-handed or Italian that had nothing to do with it. Well, maybe a little bit to
I mean,
do with
that's a
it.
lot. That's pretty
It's
special.
fine. You guys
Yeah.
But
have some
then no,
cohesiveness.
but then Yoshi and I have grown into we're freaking roommates on the road
Yeah.
now.
When I demoted myself, and started taking grenades for the organization.
You're doing a great job with that,
Let
by
you
the way.
two come here. Thank you.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks,
So,
man.
but I think along with what you're saying there, with how like CP does help with development and growth and all that stuff, is it's now with the facility we're able to you know tap into that a little bit more, which we got into last episode, and we will continue that as well. But you've been part of a few facilities as well, Trent. I mean, and you've been into CP facility. What do you see different, or what do you like about what we have to offer compared to the other places that you've been throughout your baseball career?
Well, so first of all, it's collegiate like.
Yes.
I mean, I had the tour, and with all the access you have, and we could all say whatever we want. We could sit there and we could say, well, I'm old school, but because everybody's talking about spin rate, launch angle, and uh, all that stuff, and exit velo and everything, and that all matters. It matters from an analytical standpoint, but you got to also understand, not you, but the audience needs to
Collective.
understand the foundation from which this group works, meaning the coaches. Is it's a hybrid, so it's a combination of, yes, we're gonna measure exit velo, we're also gonna measure velocity, but we're also gonna teach you what you're doing at point of impact as a hitter.
Right.
Where do you need to be? Where aren't you? Where are you getting started? So it's like a work backwards to the end result. And the end result is what it is, right? It's your grade on a test.
Yeah.
So if you have 91 exit velo, just for an example, as a high school player, that's great. How did you get there? And where are the holes? Because they have to know you're a dead if you're a dead pull hitter, so you're going to hit everything on the inside third of the plate, but you can't hit anything on the outside third of the plate. What can we do to correct that? Because there's video evidence, which is probably not a great word, but there's video that shows where you are at impact, where you are at the load point, right? Where you
Yeah.
are as the pitcher's getting ready to release, and where are you at finish. And if you're not balanced finish as a hitter, for example, what got you there?
Yeah.
Well, I just hit a ball, 93 exit velo. Yeah, that's fine because it was inside third of the plate. Outside third of the plate, it might have been 27 exit velo.
Right.
Um,
Probably
but the
swing and
whole
miss.
the whole hit tracks and all that is collegiate level. I'm telling you, I was just in Starkville 2 weeks ago, and they've got the underground tunnels, pitching and hitting tunnels,
Yeah.
and it looks very similar to what the facility has. So it's a long answer, I get it, but
Yeah.
it's state of the art, and it's nothing like I've ever seen.
Right. It's not.
Outside of being on like a college campus or
Right. I
whatever.
mean, the big colleges, what they have right now with these pitching
Yeah.
labs and hitting labs, unbelievable. Like we'd have to have a lot of help to get to that level, but we have what we need. There's no excuse for kids. Right. There's no excuse for anybody to have why they don't make it to the next level, because they have full access. That's a great thing about this membership. It's unlimited access. These kids could come 7 days a week if they wanted to.
You
So
spend a full day too. I mean, there's stuff to do. There's stuff to do around it for families. They can drop their kids off. You can
yes,
train, you lift
yeah,
weights, you stretch, pitch, hit. I mean, you can have hangout time because the
yeah.
players' room.
You got
You
20
there's
places walking distance to eat lunch. come back, get after it again. So yeah.
Well, that's a good point because it's like, you know what, if you want to take 100 swings and go take a break or whatever and grab a
Right.
smoothie or something, go do it,
Yeah.
and then come back and get back to work, or
Yeah.
the camaraderie of, because I think what CP does differently than any other organization we've played against over the years. Case in point, coach at first base. Hey, where y'all from? Oh, where's your pitcher from? I don't really know.
Right.
We're using guys that, and I was asked this, I think it was yesterday, it might have been today, it doesn't matter, but very recently, where y'all from? Like, how many people do you have from Jacksonville? And I'm like, it's a hybrid team, but it's not flying guys in from all over the country.
Yeah.
It's
65, 70 mile radius
it's a
from
100 mile,
the
maybe 100 mile radius at the
at
most.
most. Right.
And so you sit there and you go, we got these guys, and so we do have a North Florida presence. We have a, a Southern Georgia presence, which is fantastic. So you sit there and you go, how do you guys like get along and win games? Well, because we're not flying in the pitcher du jour, you know, to pitch in a game. It would be nice to do that, and we've talked about this before. Remember, you're
Yeah.
like, because
Yeah.
Dana,
Yeah.
you said I can't handle the egos. I'm going to leave it to you, meaning me, to handle
Yeah.
the egos because I played with a lot of egos, but I don't love that. Like, it's not a good look. The look is we want the underdog.
Yeah.
We want, and I'm not going to say it, but the undersized lefty. I'm not going to tell
Right.
you what my kids still refer to me as
Yeah.
because it pisses me off when they do that. But the you know the underdog,
Yeah.
and that's what we've always been about. And it doesn't mean we're not going to take a blue chipper, but we're not going to take a prima donna, right? I mean, we're not
We
going to
blend
take
them
Well,
somebody
together.
who's
we've
beyond
had,
the
I mean,
organization.
we all could sit and say we've coached some of the best players in the country at one time or another, and we've coached, some of the worst players in a county, like ever. Like we have the whole spectrum. What we're looking for is, the high character kid, um, the kid that wants to get better, and the kid that has the family that understands he's got to get better. That's always a perfect hookup for us when we have that type of player and
Well,
family.
yeah, and we'll take it back to the facility. It's like the facility is there for you, and we asked we asked the question. I ask it all the time. I'm like, what do you do as a player, as an athlete, that you're not told you have to do?
Right. Yeah.
And if I had that facility, you can only throw so much as a pitcher. I get that, and that's what
Yeah.
I was. I was a true PO for everybody out there. If you want to know more about it, let me know. I couldn't hit. I still can't hit. I can teach it a little bit. But what do you do, number one, when the lights aren't on you? And number two, when you're not asked to do something? Are you out on your own? Are you
Yeah.
hitting off? Are you getting a ride to the facility, hitting off the tee, or hitting off the hit tracks, which is an auto feeding machine?
Mhm.
It's like it can't get any easier. When I was in there, I remember girlfriends feeding their boyfriends baseballs. All you got to do is put it in the slot and it goes, and
Yeah. Let it go.
program it however you want to do it. And
But we
if
always said too, like if we tell everybody up front, if you think playing with us as a 3 days a week, if that's going to be enough to play at the next level, it's not even close. So
yeah,
it's what you're doing in those other 4 days while trying to balance being a kid and having some fun. So we instill that right away. Some take advantage of that phrase, and some it goes through one ear and out the other. But we're at least telling them.
Well, you
So
posted, I mean, the post yesterday about Kyle Lodi's about he's a 76 pick of the draft. He's in there every single day during his off season. It goes to show, like, we're not just saying this to get people to come to the facility. Like,
mm-mm.
if you want to be him, you have to do what he does. And like you
Yeah,
said, he goes there every day. He's there all the time. I mean,
yeah.
like
And
he,
even the
like,
college kids, like even the kids that are at Georgia College, which is great. It's a great Division II school. But we have Mercer. Mercer represented with Sanford. The Gandy. I mean,
mm-hmm.
that's some done
Stanford.
started every game at Sanford as a freshman. And they hardly took a day off here this summer. I mean, that's what it really, really takes. And we're telling our kids, our kids don't, our older kids don't quite like truly understand that. And what they do is calculated. Right now having you'll watch a young kid come in, we don't even let them go to the hit tracks right when they get here. But they're still we have to do a better job of like do these drills first, before you go run into the hit tracks. We try not to abuse that thing, because you could create some bad habits just trying to force lift and things like
Yeah.
that. But you know, um,
A lot of
you know,
guys do that turnaround too after hitting. So, like, you stay
they do.
locked in, finish that swing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's good that you let those guys, do those drills beforehand. Because I mean, you got to work up to that anyways. I mean, you want to go in there
yeah.
smooth and fresh because it's an ego boost, and it also take your ego away pretty quickly too.
No,
So
there ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt. Got
Hey,
anything? Yeah.
I have a shout out for Coach Polk, the legend.
Well, that's one of my questions here. I was like, I wanted to know, like, truly, the Godfather of Southeastern Conference baseball, and I wanted to talk about what a. Did you know at the time, because he was younger, like he was what, 38? Like,
He,
did you know? Did you know right away? Like, oof, this is the guy.
so it's funny. We actually in Raphael was my roommate, as we know. I'm not sure everybody knows. Both from Miami, high school rivals. We go on recruiting trips together, and we made a pact that we were going to go to the same school together. And at the time, we were kind of on equal ground in terms of talent. I think he might have surpassed me a little bit, but that's okay. This is the way things go sometimes.
Right.
Um, but we had decided between Miami, Florida State, and stay home in Miami, which was not appealing. Florida State, which was somewhat appealing. Coach Mike Martin, the legend, was there, and
Absolutely.
then Mississippi State. But when we went to Starkville in the fall of ooh, the spring of '82, there's like 11,000 people. Who wouldn't want to play there?
yeah,
Right.
And Coach Polk, who had some Miami ties, incidentally, I don't know if you guys knew that. He was at Miami Dade South, which is now it's just one Miami Dade anymore. And he was also at the University of Miami for like I think a semester, maybe a year. So he knew Ron Frazier, the legendary Ron Frazier
Hmm.
at the University of Miami. And so he had those Florida ties. And we said, yeah, we're going to go to Mississippi State, man. This is it. And we show up. And Coach Polk, he in the athletic dorm, you had athletic dorms at the time. He posted the schedule every day, and the start time was 106. It wasn't 105. Might have been 104. Could have been 108. His practice schedule was down to the minute. And by then, he had
Georgia.
already written his own book, which which was thick as all get out. It's still available, by the way. Um, Shout out to Coach Polk. I'm not trying to sell it for you, but um, and it had every single possible play you could think of. And we had to go through those plays. Runner on first and second, fly ball into the right center field gap. Where do you go? And we all had to walk to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
So as a pitcher, I had to be between like third base and home,
Yeah.
depending on where the cut throw was going to go. I mean, just stuff like that,
Yeah.
where you're so prepared. Like by the time you do, and we thought, oh, this is like insanity. But by the time you executed and you were put in those situations, you just instinctively did it. Like you didn't even have to think about it.
Right.
So his attention to detail, his ability to recruit. He had a pitch book back before pitch books were cool.
Right.
And he's showing the evolution of the left field lounge, and he's going through this book in my parents' house. And the one thing he said is that no other coach that I was recruited by said, I can't guarantee your kid a degree, but I can guarantee you we will give him every single resource available
Yeah.
to get his degree, and it's up to him.
That's right.
And my parents were, and you know my parents. I mean, they were like, that becomes above all. So that's like,
Yeah.
there you go. You got a little bit of an edge if the parents have any influence at all. And his attention to detail, his ability to recruit, and just prepared for game day was unbelievable. We would do scrimmages, inter squad games, and go over game mistakes. And he go, yeah. He goes, hey, Dano, bottom of the second, you didn't take a secondary lead on a 1-2 count, or just stuff like that you just.
Yeah.
You go, who's even paying attention to that?
Right.
And the one thing I still talk about too, and then I'll kind of zip it, but our inter squad games we played negative runs.
Yeah. I love this. You told us. I love this.
So the best example I can think of is runner on third, less than 2 outs. If the hitter doesn't get the runner in, however, it's
Right.
-3 runs.
Yeah.
And you played these for pickups, which the young people aren't going to understand what pickups are, but it's work.
Yeah.
It's labor, and you didn't want to get 100 pickups. You wanted to give 100 pickups, and some of our games ended up in negative runs.
Yeah.
Like it's -22 to -18. It's like, how the hell did we even get there?
Right.
Well, and we would do things like, okay, runner on third, nobody out, 0-0 count. Like, man, all I need is just a strikeout or a pop up or
Right.
ground ball with the infield in, and I'm going to get 3 runs, for my team or whatever. And it was stuff like that that prepared you for every single situation that you could ever be in.
Yeah.
So
That's right. Not many
yeah,
people
he was
could
he
say
was
they
un
played for
he
legendary
was he
guys.
was way before his time, man.
Yeah.
What was a swag move watching him throw out the first pitch with a cigar on his field?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I had to take a
That's
picture of that. Like,
amazing.
he had no care in the world.
He didn't care. He didn't even have baseball pants on. He had
He didn't need them.
sweat.
He
He
didn't
had
Need
need
them.
them.
sweats.
He didn't
He's
need them.
RP.
Yeah.
So
Nobody thought
I just
anything twice. Lefty,
I
what?
told you I told
Go ahead.
Yossi this today. I took a picture with him Friday at the we had like a meet and greet where autograph session and all that stuff, and then Saturday I saw him at the tailgate before the football game. I said, hey coach, let's get a picture. He goes, I took one with you yesterday. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm like your guy.
Yeah. He had enough. He had enough.
That's it.
So, B Man and Joey, played for us. So what do you think? I wish we should have had him. We should have surprised you and had him on here. But what do you think Brian's best story would be? specifically about his experience because there's a few moments could have been even when he was 14 or when he was 18 when y'all went there took the 18 group down there at West Palm and went 5-0 with
Pool
his
play
group.
champion. Pool
Pool
play
play
king.
champion. We pulled out.
and then
With some
left.
swag. Yeah, we did. We didn't want to stay down there anymore. We got this. So
We left in a cloud of dust.
yeah.
Um,
While 17 was in shambles.
so
So
one story in particular, 14, it was 14U. And I think it was the same day because you felt terrible. He had his confirmation.
I remember. And we're
And we
playing like at
missed.
Forge Park or something. We're at OP. Are we over
Okay,
there
so
playing?
it's all right. I apologize. It's two different stories then. So he comes out of his confirmation. I drive to the game. We change in the parking lot to play the second game of the doubleheader. And that was kind of a neat thing because you told the team, you know, what that meant for the family or whatever, and
Yeah.
it doesn't
Big
matter
deal.
what your denomination is. That's not the
Yeah.
point here. The point is that you recognize that was important for the player, whatever it is. It could be a baptism, a family wedding, a christening,
Right.
whatever it is, and the support there was fantastic. And the other story, there's probably two more, at least two more, but it you met him at the foul line. It was at Ponte Vedra.
Yeah. He pushed my buttons quite a bit, actually.
And you come up to me and you said, I think he has tears in his eyes because he went from your conversation to the restroom,
Yeah.
which was right
Yeah.
behind our dugout. His next time up, he hits a bullet to left center field.
Yeah.
He's, he fans out like we teach.
Mhm.
Rounds first. It gave you a dirty look.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll tell you what he did. You're being nice. I
I
told you
am being
he
nice.
spit. He spit towards me 130 feet from first base to third base. I saw it. He's first and only kid I've ever had do that to me. And you're like, no, he would never do that. And I told you I freaking loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it. I love when I yell at kids like that and they come and do
You told well,
something.
and you
Oh,
told him that day. You said you're better when you play multiple sports
yeah,
because he wasn't playing hoops at the time. He was just
yeah.
playing baseball. And,
Yeah.
You're gonna have a young kid spit at you every week now when they listen to this
I
podcast.
know. I'm gonna spat on
You
him.
said you
I'm gonna
liked
tell you
it.
though. But
not in
think
the
about this
facility
though.
though.
But listen though, Brian, like he's the first guy that ever did that, and then down in West Palm Beach, it's one of the greatest. Such a great story because we're such a culture and we're brotherhood, and we had all the new guys. We had Pensacola Catholic kids, and we had a lot of talent, but nobody. There was no connection at all. And then we just
Which is rare.
which is rare, but we put that we did what we had to do to put it together, and it was led by us, and then B Man came and I found it. It was it's titled in the name of CP, and what we ended up doing is. And Sean, you can elaborate too. Pillow sheets were involved, incense was involved, lipstick
Lipstick,
was involved, and
crackers,
crackers, and then
juice, grape
and
juice.
juice and B Man, the 18-year-old led this whole thing. We're grabbing kids out of their rooms and putting pillow sheets over them, and we had to walk them to our room. And then when they came in, we took the sheets off.
Well,
and
remember
grabbed- we
the
took the
team was
sheets
on
off and we
the
put the
team was on
pickaxe.
a struggle
We
bus
had the
too.
pickaxe on their forehead with lipstick. Yosti did because he's arts and crafts guy, so he goes pickaxe, red lipstick on these freaking foreheads of these kids. And B Man's doing this whole service. And it was just the Holy Spirit was in there, and it was intense and funny at the same time. And I don't even know if B Man knows this. Well, that was the first CP team to get to to get to Jupiter, to get to the PG Worlds, and I had done it at World of Baseball, and promised Coach O's that we could do it as CP, and and obviously we always have to walk on water with PG. Couldn't get that at large bid, even though we deserved it at the time. And
Yeah.
that's where, where's Coach Osta could what did he there it is, get his world's tattoo and but B man, that was because of B man. Right. So that was awesome. And you want to tell everybody what Joey's and B man too, what their batting average was on road trips when we shared hotels, and they knew they had to they would share a bed with me to come out of a slump. I was a slump buster. I wasn't even 300 freaking pounds. I was a slump buster, just sharing a mattress with Coach. They'd bounce back the next day, freaking tear it up.
No, B man said that day. He goes, "Man, I was 0 for 3 today. I just I gotta I gotta hang out with Coach Corsi. I think he called you Corsi, which
Yeah,
drove me nuts. Never
yeah.
Coach. It
That's
was like,
that's
yeah, I gotta.
unacceptable.
I,
Disrespectful.
Now, I mean, we've done some weird things to win ball games. Like, I mean, that's B man getting his average up. Because that same night, we watched Pitch Perfect with the
Oh,
group of men
it
for the
was
first
hot.
time.
Yeah, that movie was. My wife, we every time it's on, we have
no,
to watch it. We have to
we were
watch it.
all
We
into it
still
too.
watch that movie like
Have
it's
6 or 7
new.
people in that room.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a blast. Yeah, it was a blast. That's one of the best trips ever. Oh my god.
Because I had the blow up mattress that I put next to the restroom because I'm the guy that had to get up in the middle of the night and go to the restroom.
Well, you're the elder statesman with
Well,
the
I
or
mean,
and
it's
your bladder's a little different than ours.
not that much older, but
I
it
know
was
a
like,
decade.
okay,
It's counting.
I'm gonna sleep here, and no, and that's when like you knew the continuity was there and the closeness, and I, I think at one point, I know at one point we had that condo in West Palm Beach. I think 13 people slept in the same
Oh, that
condo.
trip. That
That
was
is,
that's some wild stories.
No, it was a couple. It was a couple bedrooms, right? It was 2 or 3
Hmm.
bedrooms, or
Yeah,
maybe not 13. That's probably
yeah.
exaggerating, but
that's the
I
only way
think,
you can win ball games.
yeah, I think the cool thing about coaching so long is that we have so many stories that we can tell, and I think Trent's coaching Torsia here. Trent, we use first names here on this podcast, but it's
that's fine.
no, we'd like you to be a regular, sir. I mean, we're talking about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
we're gonna
we're
pick.
radio time.
I I can sure. I'm a regular contributor to. Well, now it's on. It was YouTube TV, but now it's on 9:30 a.m. in Jacksonville, Florida. Terry Norvell. It's um, the young Norvell and Sam Kavaris, and I'm the baseball analyst. But they have me in usually once a week during baseball season, and then a an occasional contributor for like football and hoops and stuff like that. So I've done a lot. I've done a lot with them, and we followed the whole College World Series and actually the MLB piece too. So look forward to that. It's always a fun gig, and
Mm-mm.
oh
CCBL.
yeah. So it's yeah, the CCBL, the Coastal Collegiate um, Baseball
Baseball league.
League, and so I did it for my third year last summer, and there's 5 college teams, so they're like I, I sort of compare it to the CP of the collegiate stuff. So it's not Cape Cod, it's not Northwoods. It's but it's tier 2 or tier 3 level college baseball where these guys have an opportunity to play. There's no summer families and stuff like that, but they do set up housing and everything, and we've got enough players and pitching for 5 teams, and it may expand, to 6 next year. And I'm the roving pitching guy, so what I do is it's funny because my mother's like, "Well, did you win?" I go, "I went
Yes.
1-1 tonight." I won one and I lost one, and try explaining that to an 85-year-old. But it's like so. The cool thing about it is these guys are literally saying, "You've taught me more in 2 weeks than I've learned an entire year of playing college baseball," which is sad. But the point is, you've got the resource there. And so I float from dugout to dugout. So it's like if, say, Dano, you pitch the first inning and I'm in the other dugout, you come off the field, I might walk over to your dugout. And if you have a bad inning, I may let it, just let it
Every situation is
resonate or
different.
whatever. Or I'll go, "Hey, I see some things, but it's up to you. I don't want to interfere." And they're like, "No, I want to know." These guys are eager for feedback and information, and it's been a thrill for me.
Little, yeah. Yeah, yeah, and like we said, you're going to be a regular on here, so we'll be able to hit on different topics. Even why it's sad that players are learning so much within 2 weeks of the CCBL just being around you and whatnot. But if you're one of the viewers, oh, about with Greg Olson, yeah, we'll get into that. If you're one of the viewers that stuck around for this long, hit that subscribe button so we can get you more videos here soon. So we've got some more guests coming next week, and it might be one later this week. Who knows? Might have a topic that we got to get going. So yeah, is anyone? Mm-hmm. So anything before we head out of here? Thanks, Coach Intorcia, Coach
We
Corsi,
hit
and
it.
episode
Thank
2.
you guys.
All right, CP on me, CP on 3.
All righty. See you.
Bye.